Oman, which has for centuries formed a cornerstone of Oman's strength, stability and openness to the world. It also reflects a renewed present in which the sea constitutes a strategic depth for Oman, enabling it to continue building bridges of cooperation and cultural exchange, opening avenues for development and supporting economic diversification programs within the framework of Oman Vision 2040. His Majesty the Sultan will be joined at the celebration by a number of their Highnesses, Excellencies and other dignitaries, as well as senior military and civilian officials, and a large gathering of citizens. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Highness Prince Albert II of Monaco on the occasion of his country's National Day. The Military Judiciary Building in Qurm was inaugurated today, coinciding with the country's celebrations of the glorious National Day. The inauguration of this judicial building comes within the framework of strengthening the judicial system and due to the keenness of the leadership to upholding the principles of integrity and the rule of law. The opening ceremony was presided over by His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed al-Nu'mani, Minister of the Royal Office, Head of the Office of the Supreme Commander and Supervisor of Military Justice. The Joint Arab Coordination Meeting to prepare the file Traditional Irrigation Systems, Associated Skills and Practices for inscription on the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity at the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, began today in Muscat. The meeting featured presentations on elements of intangible cultural heritage inscribed on UNESCO's list for the Sultanate of Oman, in addition to a specialized presentation on the Iflaj system. This meeting serves as a pivotal platform for coordinating joint Arab efforts, unifying the content of the file and analyzing the cultural, social and developmental aspects associated with traditional irrigation systems, thereby enhancing its compatibility with the requirements of the 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage. 18 Arab countries are participating in the meeting, which will continue until November 21st. The event was held under the patronage of His Excellency Sayyid Saeed bin Sultan Al Busaidi, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Youth for Culture. Sultan Qaboos University organized the National Forum Empowering Oman from Within, Local Value as a Pillar for Sustainable Growth. The forum aims to enhance the role of local content within the development planning framework in the Sultanate of Oman by adopting an environmental, social, economic and governance ESG perspective. It also seeks to stimulate structured dialogue on ways of integration to local content effectively into sustainability agendas, institutional development and strategic partnerships, thereby supporting the realization of Oman Vision 2040. It was held under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Dr. Faris bin Turki Al Saeed. The third annual Entrepreneurship Forum, titled Al Wusta Innovates, kicked off today in the Wilaya of Ad-Duqm in Al Wusta Governorate under the patronage of His Excellency Sheikh Dr. Ali bin Masood Al-Sunaidi, Chairman of the Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones. The forum witnessed the signing of 3 strategic memoranda of understanding aimed at supporting the innovation ecosystem in the Governorate. During the forum, a visual presentation entitled Innovation from Idea to Reality was given, which reviewed the journey of the entrepreneurial idea from the moment of its launch to the stage of implementation and expansion in the economy. The Sultanate of Oman will host the second edition of the Oman Climate Week Life in a Sustainable World from September 14th to 16th of 2026. The event aims to unify the efforts of governmental, private, academic and community entities in environmental fields and accelerate the transition to clean energy. This announcement was made during a press conference held today in Muscat by the Environment Authority to unveil the key agenda planned for this event. Organized by the Environment Authority, Oman Climate Week seeks to promote innovation in the circular and green economy and environmental technologies and to solidify Oman's position as a leading regional platform for environmental action. The event will feature specialized scientific conferences showcasing advanced research projects and peer-reviewed scientific papers on various environmental topics, as well as scientific publications in international journals and periodicals. Still to come in our news bulletin. An event at the National Museum showcases Oman's historical journey and cultural achievements. Welcome back to the newsroom from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The Ministry of Social Development today held an introductory workshop about the National Guide on Standards for Licensing and Classification of Institutions that provide services to persons with disabilities. The workshop was held at the National Autism Centre in the Wilaya of Asib. The workshop included a visual presentation on the new National Guide. 3 working papers were held as part of the workshop as well. The workshop included a review of the general framework of the National Guide on Standards of Licensing and Classification of Governmental, Non-Governmental and Private Institutions that provide services to persons with disabilities. The workshop was held under the auspices of His Excellency Sulaiman bin Nasser Al-Hajji, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Health for Administrative and Financial Affairs. The Protected Production Workshops building was inaugurated at Al Wafa Centre for the Rehabilitation of Persons with Disabilities in Dhofar Governorate. The project provides economic opportunities that contribute to integrating people with disabilities into the labour market. More than 60 persons with disabilities may invest in their own projects to reintegrate themselves in the society and help them to be independent, so to have income sources through activities such as distillation of perfume oils, pottery, its accessories and printing on the souvenirs. The inauguration ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Rashid bin Ahmed Al-Shamsi, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Social Development. The first edition of the Russian Film Festival locally concluded in Muscat, attended by His Excellency Oleg Vladimirovich Levin, Ambassador of the Russian Federation to the Sultanate of Oman, alongside of filmmakers, cultural figures and cinema enthusiasts. Here is more details in this report.
The Russian Film Festival concluded its activities in Oman, organized by Roskino in cooperation with the Russian Ministry of Culture. The festival celebrated Russian cinema and its artistic heritage through a curated program, presenting a selection of contemporary films that reflect the dynamism and diversity of Russia's film industry. The event marked a new cultural milestone, offering audiences in Oman the opportunity to explore cinematic works that blend visual artistry with human stories that transcend geography and resonate with universal themes. Over the course of 3 days, the festival screened 5 selected films representing various genres within modern Russian cinema, including drama, folklore-inspired adventure, sports biography, family entertainment, animation, and science fiction. The Russian Film Festival represents a valuable addition to Oman's cultural calendar, offering international cinematic content that enriches the artistic scene and broadens the experiences available to local audiences. The event also supports the growing interest in film initiatives and the creative industries across the Sultanate.
Marking an important step in expanding and enhancing local healthcare services in the governorate of Al-Dakhiliya, the Sheikh Al-Maashi Health Center in the Wilaya of Buhla was officially inaugurated yesterday. The ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Hilal bin Saeed Al-Hajri, Governor of Al-Dakhiliya. Here is more in this report.
For years, Khamis bin Muhammad al-Hinai would leave his home in Sheikh al-Maashi and travel nearly 45 minutes to reach the nearest hospital. Today, as he walks through the doors of the new health center in his own community, that journey has been reduced to just a few minutes. Khamis shared the relief felt by many residents who no longer have to make the long trip to Nizwa or Ibri for primary health care.
We are so happy to see this health center open, because in the past it was difficult for us to get health care. We used to go to Nizwa hospital or every hospital. It took around 45 minutes to reach this hospital. But now from 3 to 5 minutes and we are at the health center.
Stories like his highlight the wider meaning of the Sheikh Al-Maashi Health Center, a facility built on 15,000 square meters through coordinated planning and meaningful community support. For many families, the center represents healthcare that finally meets them where they live.
Sheikh Al-Maashi Health Center is linking between Al-Dakhiliya Governorate and Al-Zahira Governorate. The new health center facilities has reduced the effort, time and distance requires to receive primary health care facilities.
Inside, the facility offers 3 general clinics, a treatment room, an observation hall, a dental clinic, a modern laboratory, and a fully equipped pharmacy, supported by meeting spaces and essential service units. Together, these features are designed to make healthcare easier, quicker, and closer to home for families across the area. Sheikh Al-Maashi Health Center is another step that boosts healthcare and supports the national push towards more resilient and healthier communities. Reporting from the Wilaya of Buhla, this is Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Al-Dakhiliya, Governorate.
Thank you, Saleh, and congratulations to the people of Sheikh Al-Maashi in Al-Dakhiliya Governorate. OQ Exploration and Production achieved outstanding financial performance during the first 9 months of 2025. Here is another report. OQ Exploration and Production achieved outstanding financial performance during the first 9 months of this year, as the total revenues approached 634 million Omani Riyals, while earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization, EBITDA, exceeded 471 million Omani Riyals, with a net profit of approximately 236.8 million Omani Riyals. OQ Exploration and Production's total output stabilized at 224,400 barrels per day of oil, condensates and gas. The company also succeeded in increasing its oil and condensate sales volume by 12%. The Bisat Sea Field, located in Concession Area 6C, is operating at full capacity after the completion of its expansion, which directly boosts production, while the Mersa LNG project has achieved 25% completion rate and is expected to be operational in 2028. Additionally, the company has signed several new commercial agreements. OQ Exploration and Production holds a portfolio of 14 oil and gas exploration and production assets in the Sultanate of Oman, 9 of which are in the production phase. The Ministry of Information organised an event titled Extended Civilizational Heritage Between Oman and the World today at the National Museum, with the participation of 59 journalists representing 20 different countries. The event aimed to review Oman's historical journey and civilizational achievements and introduce the authentic values that distinguish the Omani character, confirming the country's stability and its effective contribution to promote joint initiatives and the building of communication bridges with its regional and international surroundings. The event included a dialogue session covering several themes, namely historical diplomatic relations, maritime heritage and the logistics sector, openness to the world and civilizational, commercial and cultural communication, historical trade relations, the symbolism and connotations of the Sultanate of Oman's promotional identity. This is the Sultanate of Oman's television, and before we end tonight's news bulletin, here is a recap of the headlines. His Majesty the Supreme Commander shall preside over the military parade on Thursday at Al-Fath Square and the Naval Fleet Parade 2025 on Friday in Muscat Governorate. The Joint Arab Coordination meeting began in Muscat to prepare the file on traditional irrigation systems for inclusion in UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage. The Entrepreneurship Forum in Al-Wusta Governorate discusses ways to support emerging businesses and expand funding opportunities across promising sectors. And the Environment Authority announces during a press conference the full details of the programs and scientific sessions scheduled as part of Oman Climate Week 2026. As we near the 20th of November, our glorious National Day, we remember the great achievements and transformations that the Sultanate of Oman is witnessing across different areas and fields. We pray to Allah the Almighty to preserve this dear homeland and its wise leader, His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq. We also extend our heartfelt greetings to all citizens and residents upon this blessed occasion. Happy National Day to all of you in advance, and enjoy this special time of the year. Finally, do remember to stay motivated in order to build and achieve more for this dear nation. Good night and stay safe.